Hey traders, Jason here from Levitt Brothers. So in this video, I'm just going to go through some example trades. If you've been listening to my videos for a while, you know the routine. In my opinion, the path to being a really good trader is find your sweet spot, find a trade that works for you, practice it, get good at it, rehearse it, study it, and then once you get pretty good, then you can start to size up and make some real money. Okay, so you should create what I call just a chart, a trade library or a chart library where you're collecting example trades. And over time, you'll have dozens and dozens, and actually over a longer period of time, you'll have hundreds. And then you go back and you study them, pull up a chart, go bar by bar by bar, and rehearse them, practice them. And you train your eye to see things. Okay, so when I do these videos with chart examples or trade examples, I'm just pulling charts out of my own trade library, and I'm just narrating for you. You might, it's doubtful you're going to trade exactly like me, but you could pull a lot of stuff out of here and incorporate it into what you do. Or maybe you're already 80-90% set in what you do, but there's like one little missing piece. Maybe you find that in here. Okay, so I'm just going to go through a couple charts. Just a few trade examples just to give you some ideas. All right, here we go. Let's go through this. All right, first up is DRIP. All right, so what I see here, the DRIP moved up, as you can see, mid-October. This is the hourly chart. It pulled back here, and then it moved up again. I consider this pullback to be a mini pullback within a slightly longer uptrend. So what I see here is you got lower low here. You got higher low here. It tells us we're probably going to have a turn coming. Okay, we have with the RSI here, and I should say that we have RSI up top here with the indicators, MACD in the middle, stochastic down below. You guys can read that stuff. All right, so what we have here is we have trend line break with the RSI right there. We have a positive divergence with the MACD histogram, and then we have a cross here. And then with the stochastic, we had, it came out of a base here, pulled back a little bit, and then reasserted itself here. So the combination of trend line break, here, positive divergence, and cross over here, recross over here, all happening not at the same time, not at the same bar, but it all happens within succession. It actually all happened pretty much on the same day. And then what you have is you have a move off the low, you have a consolidation here, and then you have a continuation up. Okay, doesn't look like much, but if you got to move here from $10 up to the mid 11s, that's perfect. Okay, if you can get really good at doing that, do that with 100 shares, then 200, then 300, 500, 1,000. Get really, really good at that, and then you're doing 5,000, 10,000. That's how you become a good trader. You don't become a good trader by magically having a higher winning percentage or by nailing bigger moves. You become a better trader by finding something that works for you, practicing and get really good at it, and then you do it with bigger size. So same trade today is the trade that you did a year ago, 2 years ago, but now instead of doing 200 shares, 500 shares, something like that, now you're doing 5,000 shares. Instead of making a couple $100, now you're making 10 grand. Okay, let's go to the next one. See, here's IONQ. All right, so a lot of good stuff happening here. Stock was strong. It was a big winner for us. And then it pulled back and it actually broke down, and you can see it's going down, 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 and getting batted back by the 21 here numerous times. But it's starting towards the low here at the end of October. It's starting to show some signs of probably turning. So you got lower low there. You get higher low there, so it's positive divergence. You have positive divergence here. Okay, so we're starting to get some warning signs that like the tide may be turning. Okay, then we have trend line on the RSI is here. Okay, you have the MACD crosses here, and then it kisses there. Okay, and then of course the stochastic crosses up here. So the combination of positive divergences kind of tell us like a turn is in the works. Doesn't mean it's going to happen right there, but it's like it's starting to lose downside momentum. You got trend line break over here. You got a kiss over here after the MACD had already crossed up. You got a cross over here. That's all happening either at the end of the day on the 30th or beginning of the day on the 31st. And then the stock comes off a low here. You can see it consolidates above its 8 and 21 for whatever that is, 5-6 candles, and then it moves up from there. So nice sequence. Again, you don't have to nail a ton of points. The key to trading is like if you can get really good at this, we're talking like, this goes from like 9.5 up to 11.5. Like that's a fantastic trade. If you can do that over and over and over, get really good at that, and then eventually do it with bigger size, you could very quietly trade, make a really good living, and nobody even knows you exist. All right, here's SOXL, semiconductor leveraged ETF, lower lows there, higher lows there, sets positive divergence, higher lows there, positive divergence. Okay, so we're starting to get some warning signs here that the tide is probably going to start turning because it's losing its downside momentum. But you can tell that it's got batted back by the 21, 21, 21, 21. So it keeps getting batted back. But then we get these divergences. It kind of tells us, hey, the tide is probably turning here. So we have a big long trend line here. Okay, that goes back a couple of weeks. So that's huge. And so the combination of we got a trend line break over here. The MACD had crossed up over here, came down and kissed, and then moved up again. So we got a cross back. We got a move off there, and you can see the MACD histogram, which tells you that the gap between the two lines is expanding, and the stochastic is moving up there. So that's all happening like at the end of the day on the 30th, beginning of the day on the 31st, moves off a low, and then it just kind of starts slowly setting up here, gets support from the 21, spends 5 candles here, consolidating above the 21, and then it goes from there. Okay, trend line break, kisses and trend line breaks with the MACD. The stochastic is more of a timing indicator, was trending up. Everything is there. All right, let's look at same stock, SOXL. The last one was the 1 hour chart. Now we're going to look at the 2 hour chart just to kind of show you. And by the way, you can probably tell by now, I get all my signals from the 1 hour and 2 hour charts. I look at the daily and the weekly. I want to see the bigger picture. I'll occasionally look at the 5 and the 15-minute charts because I want to zoom in and get a better entry. But as far as getting signals go, I want to use the hourly and the 2 hour. And the reason why is because that's like the happy place that I want to sit. The daily is too slow. Okay, I'm not looking to nail a 6-month move or 3-month move or something like that. And then the 5-minute chart, 15-minute chart, it's too detailish. Okay, like I actually want to nail a little bit of a trend that lasts several days. So that's why I sit like in the middle with the hourly and 2 hourly chart. All right, so here we have the 2 hour leverage ETF of semiconductors. Lower low here, getting some higher lows there, higher lows there, higher lows there. So even though we're trending down, we're starting to get some signals that the downside momentum is fading, and we're going to get some upside movement here. So, or I shouldn't say we're going to get some upside movement, or at least there's a potential for a turn there. So we got a trend line break of the RSI over here. The MACD had crossed up here and then kissed right there. Okay, and then you can see the stochastic moved up, came down, and then recross there. So the cross there, the kiss there, trend line break there, stock moves off a low, and as you can see, ultimately it went 14 up to 19. You're not going to nail the whole move, but certainly as it gets up in here, as it gets above its 8, starts to ride that up, and these indicators start to improve. The RSI is trending up. The gap between the two MACD lines is expanding. Stochastic had a high level. Everything is there for to take a reversal trade. Okay, last one, MA. This is Microsoft. So stock was doing really well. This gap up was earnings. It pulled back. You can see it formed a mini double bottom pattern, and then it moved up from there, consolidated above its 21, and then moved up from there. So while that took place, we had trend line break here. You had a higher low here, which tells you momentum on the downside is waning. Okay, so you got trend line break over here. You have higher low here, and then the MACD crosses. You have double bottom pattern here, and this crosses. So from a timing standpoint, like this is where you want to get long. Okay, this first move up over here, the RSI didn't get high enough. The the MACD never crossed up, and then the stochastic moves up, but it's going to do that. Then it cycles back down, and when it cycles back down, then on the second move up, then you get a cross here, then you get a cross here, then you get a cross here, and everything lines up. Stock sits here for almost 2 days. Let me clean this up and show you what else is there. The stock sits there for a couple of days. You have another trend line here. So you have another cross. Whoops. So you never have another cross here. You get a kiss here, and then it starts to expand. Meanwhile, that's moving up. So even if you don't get in over here, there's an opportunity to get in over here as the next trade lines up. Okay, hope you got something out of this. Again, the key to trading: find something that works, find something that clicks with your personality, find something that you can execute while staying within your comfort zone, and then practice it. Practice, practice, practice. This is a skill-based activity. Practice, rehearse, collect trades like I'm showing you here, form a chart library, and then go chart by chart, bar by bar, and study them, and you'll train yourself to see them and to be able to act on them. And then once you get really good, then you can start sizing up, and that's when the real profits come. All right, hope you got something out of this, and I'll see you next time.